People who aren't afraid of needles. How? When you get poked with enough needles, eventually you give up being afraid. What are they gonna do? Stab me? I don't see a reason to be afraid. I realized that the discomfort they cause doesn't last long. There are worse things. Being so broke you need to donate plasma for dollar bills. Deleted. I'm just not. As a kid, I'd take 10 needles before stabbing a stick down my throat. When I was little, I was at the doctor having a full-blown meltdown because I was going to be getting a shot. I was a mess. People were staring. It was bad. Then I got the shot and it really didn't hurt at all. And I was completely mortified and embarrassed. I mean totally ashamed and felt like such a shit. For some reason that experience stuck with me in a way that now needles don't bother me at all. Getting vaccines. Having blood drawn. Taking a glucose test. Giving blood. Even an epidural. No problem. When I was pregnant and at the hospital to deliver, I told the nurse to let a student practice placing my IV because I have really good veins and I don't mind needles. You gotta learn somehow. I was in the hospital with an infected cyst and I got stabbed with needles so many times I built up an immunity to it. I had a phobia of needles up until around my early 20s. Bad hospital experience as a kid. Weirdly, the thing that completely changed it was when I got my wisdom teeth out. Part of the surgery was getting an IV. And my mom, being the awesome person that she is, asked the dentist if there was something they could give me to help relax me before they put me under. They gave me a Valium before the surgery, which if you've ever been on it before, it makes you vaguely euphoric and very calm. So when they gave me the IV, I felt completely fine. Having that very easy experience with it basically rewrote the old association of fear. And now I don't feel scared at all. I give blood regularly. Stay up to date on my vaccinations. Have had tattoos, etc. And don't think twice about it now. Hopefully that might be helpful to anyone who has felt the same way. In college, I sold blood plasma for beer money. You gotta sit in a chair for an hour or more with a huge needle in your arm. The machine sucks your blood out, spins it to remove the platelets, then mixes in some saline and pushes the now cooled a bit blood back into your arm. This cycle takes about 15 minutes and it does it 4 or 5 times. All for about $25. And you can do it twice a week. The worst part was that the 2 or 3 hour wait for an open chair. But it was a good time to do homework. And hey, $50 a week is nothing to sneeze at for a broke college student. This may only make it worse. But in a sense, needs aren't destroying or injuring your skin. The needle is angled and just kind of scooches between cells. I'm diabetic, so needles are a daily thing. It's old hat. It's a phobia, so it's irrational. It's impossible to explain it to someone who has a phobia of needles because they can't exactly explain why they react the way they do. Using untrained nurses to give a 3-year-old blood shots in a needle is not a good idea. They need 4 other nurses to hold me down. According to my mother, because they were non-stop getting the needle inside of my skin. But they kept missing the blood vessel, which resulted in me having a fit due to me being a scared 3. Why? Oh. Q, a most likely lifelong phobia of needles. I cry to literally having the thought of a needle. I used to be afraid. The first time I donated blood, I almost passed out after seeing the needle come out, and 2 very strong, very cute men basically carried me to a cot. Totally unrelated, but I think it helped in a way. Now they still freak me out, but I can watch the needle go in and be mostly fine. I got my blood drawn so many times as a kid that now I don't even flinch when it comes to needles. I got cancer. I used to freak out, pass out, etc. Now I'm pretty numb to it. As a kid, I didn't want to cry in front of nurse. That habit stayed with me till today. I used to be, but was diagnosed with MS and have to take injected medication. As a kid, I got 6 allergy shots every Saturday. I'm not afraid of needles. It's not like they're going to bite me. I have no idea. I've just never been afraid of them. Now I'm wondering why and questioning if I need to be. I've had shots before and took them like a champ, so honestly, why should I be afraid of needles? I give shots all day at work. Woman shrugging. Lol, I wasn't worried, but it had been a long time since I had gotten a shot, so I was like, fuck this. But I didn't even feel it and was quite surprised. I have to inject medication 5 times a day. I'd be pretty fucked if I was afraid of needles. The needle poke just feels like someone pressing a bruise. So, when I get a shot, I think about that instead of what is actually happening. I donate regularly and work in vet med, so I've been around needles every day of my life for over a decade. Every time I donate they do the, okay I'm gonna stick look away, and I'm like, nah stick me, I wanna watch. I just find it interesting. I don't really ever realize the jab hurts cause I'm too interested in what they're doing.